Hello, dear friends. Today, Saturday, July 25th, is the day out of time in the Mayan 30 moon calendar. Opinion piece. Giant wave. The end of evil. Powerful energy. Day out of time. Threshold between worlds. Year of the red galactic moon. Ascension portal this Saturday. From darkness to blinding light. Let's start. Over the next 30 days, we may experience profound levels of energetic reorganization in our bodies, according to Alexander Quinn. This energy wave brings acceleration, greater momentum, clarity, intuition, and manifestation. The light reveals all. Very strong energy is building for the activation of the Ascension portal at 12:21 on Saturday, and we are likely to reach critical mass. Today, Saturday, July 25th, is the day out of time in the Mayan 30 moon calendar, as we have said. It is a day of pause, closure, and preparation between one cycle and the next, dedicated to reflection, introspection, harmonization, cleansing, reorganization, and the connection with nature and art. It is also called Zero Day because it belongs neither to the old year nor the new, but rather functions as a threshold between both worlds. It is a time to give thanks, meditate, release burdens, and open space to a more creative and conscious energy. Tomorrow, Sunday, marks the beginning of the new year of the red galactic moon, which is associated with purification, emotional fluidity, inner cleansing, and the ability to let things flow without resistance. It emphasizes coherence, integration, and alignment between what you feel, think, and do. Consciousness is really made visible. Consciousness is built before change. It has already been silently reorganizing itself in a non-physical way, beneath the surface. Trust your intuition when it becomes stronger than your fear. Fatigue occurs because consciousness shifts first in the nervous system, before the mind is even aware of what is happening. So the body begins to adapt. A phenomenon I have observed among sincere seekers for some time now can be summarized as follows, in quotes. If light is emerging and divinity is triumphing in this age, why does darkness still set the tone in important social spheres, from geopolitics and finance to cultural pride and the technology that shapes everyday perceptions? Tranquility. The calmer you are, the more dangerous you become, according to Max Payne. Calm minds make sound decisions. Calmer people tend to think more clearly because they are not ruled by impulses or emotions. A serene mind sees what others miss. It detects patterns, weighs the consequences, and responds with intention, rather than reacting with anger or fear. In times of pressure, clarity becomes a greater advantage than force. While others rush into emotional decisions, a serene person creates the necessary space to decide wisely. Calmness should never be mistaken for weakness. It reflects discipline, the ability to regulate emotions, maintain focus under pressure, and preserve inner peace when circumstances invite chaos. This kind of self-control is difficult to develop, but incredibly powerful when cultivated. Leaders, athletes, warriors, and those with the greatest decision-making ability understand that serenity is a great advantage. They know that losing control often means losing perspective, while remaining calm allows them to act with precision and confidence. Because true power doesn't lie in having the loudest voice or the fastest reaction. It lies in mastering yourself so that your mind remains clear when others are in chaos. Revelation. A new batch of files on unidentified aerial phenomena, including unprecedented images and documents on advanced propulsion, will be released on July 31st. This continues the ongoing declassification process. This fifth phase will include previously unseen videos of anomalous aircraft. These are not fleeting glimpses, but sustained presences within controlled areas. Alongside the footage, the classified documents will be released examining advanced propulsion concepts, some of which were studied as early as the 50s. These theories extend far beyond conventional aerodynamics and nuclear rocketry. The War Department has already announced 4 declassifications since May 8th, and the 4th one happened on July 10th. The pattern of gradual disclosure continues. The race isn't just about technology, it is about who controls the narrative before the other side uses the truth as a weapon. We are getting closer to understanding the performance characteristics that have defined the UFO mystery for decades. Instantaneous acceleration, silent hovering, and the physics that doesn't yet match public records. The US, Russia, and China aren't just studying these techniques, they are engaged in a frantic race to reverse engineer propulsion systems, and whoever succeeds first will gain a decisive weapons advantage over the others. That's why the official version of the disclosure is being delayed, because when one nation gains too much of an advantage, the losers have the incentive to force the release of catastrophic information to plunge the winning society into chaos and panic. Curious. China plans a defense test by crashing a spacecraft into an asteroid. The World Cup hero supported a cup with the slogan, "Let's make Spain great again." From porn star to politician, Amaranta Hank is sworn into the Colombian Congress. Economy. The dominoes are starting to fall. Goldman Sachs warns that Brent crude could exceed $120 if the crisis worsens. 3 currents are transforming the markets: oil, debt, and interest rates. German motorists are flooding the Czech border to take advantage of lower fuel prices. The market is starting to collapse. Technical indicators are changing. Oil is rising and volatility remains high. The 2026 polycrisis looms like a storm, like a medieval end of the world scenario. It feels like we are facing the apocalypse, but we will overcome this. Artificial intelligence is quietly transforming healthcare. The AI bubble is closer than many think. The humanoid robot market is accelerating as China ramps up production. India continues to buy Russian oil at a record pace. Rising oil prices are increasing concerns about inflation. Brent crude reached its highest level in weeks as the continuous disruption of the Straits of Hormuz and Bab el-Mandeb threatens some of the world's energy shipments. According to Jim Quinn, the crisis has entered a forward-turning phase that could lead to a financial collapse due to a combination of geopolitical tensions, propaganda, economic fragility, and potential triggers such as Iran, Russia, China, or Taiwan, because the major powers are pushing the system toward a deeper crisis. Transformation. The global financial landscape is being transformed due to significant legislative and economic changes in several countries, particularly the US, Iraq, and Zimbabwe, suggesting a transition to a new financial system, according to Charlie Ward. As this economic transformation accelerates, experts suggest approaching the changing landscape with calm confidence. The consensus is to remain focused on long-term structural changes rather than daily distractions or fleeting events of sensationalist narratives often presented by the media. The Clarity Act represents a step forward, demonstrating an effort to establish a clear regulatory framework for financial assets. This aligns with a global trend toward economic modernization, echoing the reforms undertaken in Japan. As the world's major economies harmonize their financial regulations, the foundation is being laid for a more integrated, transparent, and modern global financial system. The Middle East is also experiencing its own economic renaissance, with Iraq leading the way. A central element of Iraq's revitalization is the comprehensive reform of its banking sector. This improvement has generated high expectation in anticipation of a possible international currency revaluation. Simultaneously, Africa is demonstrating remarkable resilience and economic growth, particularly in Zimbabwe. The country is making significant progress in infrastructure development, as evidenced by the construction of a new railway for transporting lithium, which has attracted substantial foreign investment in its mining sector. Zimbabwe is working to consolidate its position as an industrial powerhouse in the transition to green energy. And that's all for today. Thanks a lot, dear friends.